You're on.
Okay, so this is a Ford F-350, which was reportedly stolen and burnt. So when we examined this thing by taking photos all around the exterior, we find the only exterior damage from trauma is the left front taillight assembly is broken and the grille is hanging here. It appears as though he had it tied up with some string to keep it in place. The headlight assembly is here. We'll throw that in the back. So when we examine the vehicle, we don't see any sign of fire damage in the engine compartment. And we see when we examine the windshield for heat patterns, we have most of the heat damage is kind of centered in the center. The windshield has fractured, but it is still in place. And then when we look at the interior of the cab, we notice that all of the windows have been opened about an inch and a half to 2 inches all around. We see that there's extensive damage to the front part of the cab. The driver's seat area is almost totally burned away, and so I suspect that an accelerant was poured on the driver's seat. It's burned up in a kind of a pattern like this from down below. When we look at the passenger seat, we can see that only the left side of the seat is burned away, and the same with a little bit of the vinyl covering on the driver's or the passenger's seat. And that indicates that fires traveled from the console area in that direction. But because only one edge is burned, I believe that happened later on during the fire. So when we look at the dash and stuff like that, we find extensive melting of the plastics and vinyls in the dash area, particularly in the center part and towards the driver's seat. We have removed the ignition, which we found to be intact. Didn't appear to have any obvious damage from trauma, as if someone was trying to break in and start the vehicle by accessing the wires inside the ignition switch. But we have removed that, and we will be able to tell when we take that apart and examine it with the assistance of a forensic locksmith whether or not this vehicle was started with a key or some other object that was forced in there. It appears from our examination so far that it was not damaged. So that's what we do. We see no damage on the floor other than stuff that's melted from above and dropped down onto the floor, and the plastic and vinyl in the console is completely burned away. There's a lot of fuel load in that console, but you can see it's completely gone at the front, and some of the back portion is still there. So all the heat patterns and burn patterns in this vehicle are indicative of an accelerant poured on the driver's seat and perhaps on the console as well. But it has burned itself out. There's no indication of dry chemical from a fire extinguisher. There's no indication of water in here. So that's basically what this vehicle is telling us. We've ruled out all accidental causes for this fire to have originated here. The wiring under the seat, some of it has the insulation burned off, but other than that, it's unremarkable, and so this is an intentionally set fire.